Well, the Tennessee Vols are looking to add one of the best wide receiver classes that I can recall, Bob. Coach Heupel, Coach Pope has thrown a pretty wide net out there and are looking at some of the very best wide receivers in the country. I mean, it's super exciting to see, too. And speaking of exciting, we're real excited, Bob. We're going to have a little giveaway here in a few weeks. If we're going to give away a really nice Tennessee T-shirt to a subscriber that leaves a comment on one of the next 3 videos, including this one.
Right.
So on the 4th video, we'll pull out a name out of the hat of everyone that's in, and we'll find out who's the lucky one to win.
That's right. So if you're not a subscriber, subscribe, please. And so you'll be eligible for this giveaway and, make a comment.
Yeah, leave that comment.
And we love them comments anyway because we love, going back and forth with people and, tell them what we love talking Tennessee. That's the reason why we started this video. We love talking Tennessee football. So say something, whatever.
Yeah, also hit that notification bell so you'll know when we drop that 4th video. And, of course, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. We've really been blowing up lately on those subscription numbers, and we really appreciate you guys tuning in, spending 5-10 minutes of your day with us.
That's right.
So let's jump into Bob. Obviously, we're going to be talking about the wide receivers, but there's a couple of things also happening over on the campus that we quickly want to jump into.
That's right. The basketball team got a commitment from Dwayne Brown from, is it Hoover, Alabama, I think?
Yeah, he's from Hoover. Top player in the state of Alabama. 6'9",
6'10", depending on who you ask. 4-star guy. Kind of a big body guy.
He's thick.
I'm thinking, with the way Adu and Walker got pushed around this year.
Well, particularly Adu. Walker's got some pushback.
But I think they went for a more physical center, somebody that wouldn't get pushed around.
But he's class 25, so it's going to be a while.
Yeah. But, good get, Tim.
That was, very solid get. That's a good 4-star pickup right there.
And the Lady Vols picked up a portal commitment from Syracuse, Alyssa Latham. She was a all-freshman ACC player last year, nearly averaging a double-double.
As a freshman.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. 8.6 points a game and 7 rebounds. So
wrong numbers for a freshman.
6'2", so she'll play down low somewhere. But
excited for Kim Caldwell.
Yeah, that's a good get. And let's also talk about the baseball team, Tim. They tied the series up with Kentucky, beat them 9-4 last night. And, we talked a little bit about the back and forth there.
The home run derby between, trying to see who's going to be the all-time record holder for Tennessee in home runs between Christian Moore and Blake Burke.
Yeah.
And started right off the bat. Christian Moore come up first bat, took it out of the ballpark, tied Burke up. But Burke said, "Not so fast, my friend."
Yeah.
And at the very next at bat, he took one out of the park too to retake the lead. So that's going to be fun to watch all year long.
Yeah. And Burke kept the streak going down.
Those consecutive hit games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now he's the sole record holder. On it. Yeah.
Yeah, past Condors Holloway. So, all right, Bob, let's jump into the meat of our subject today, though, and the quality of wide receivers that we're going after this year, and that we're deep in on. Of course, we already have one commitment from Joakim Dodson, wide receiver, Memphis area. It's such a great year in state. We got 3 guys that's highly coveted by the Tennessee staff, and the staff were very happy to get Dotson in the boat to start with. He's the first one in, and I think we'll go up to 3 more people in this class. Honestly, this could be the best class since 1994 when we brought in 4 that year also, led by, some dude named Marcus Nash.
Right. Good dude. Had a pretty good quarterback, Tim.
What?
I don't know if anybody knows the guy's name or not, but
something about wide receivers want to go play with good quarterbacks.
They do, and that's why we're so hot, and I think that's why we will continue to be super hot on the wide receiver trail, because of the quarterbacks, man. We got Nico right now,
Yeah.
Merklinger, good quarterback. We have George McIntyre, probably top 2 quarterbacks in the country for the next class. We are probably the leader for what's his name?
Brandon Frazier.
I can never remember his last name.
Did I say that right?
Yeah,
Faison.
Faison. Is it Faison?
Yeah.
The number one, some people's number 1 quarterback for the next class. So if you like the ball being thrown around, lots of points scored, you might want to keep watching some Tennessee football the next few years.
Well,
It looks like this train's rolling, man. It's downhill, and they can't stop us.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I'm excited, man.
Well, hopefully the train don't come off the tracks, but the way you don't come off tracks, you continue to pile up talent. And
well, I mean, quarterback, wide receivers, that's 2 of the probably top 4 positions NFL covets right now, the most of any position. And we're going after them hard.
yeah. All right, Bob, let's jump into it now, though. Start off the bat, Caleb Cunningham, number 3 wide receiver in the nation, out of Mississippi. We've been on him quite a while.
Yeah.
Now, I'll be honest about it, it's going to be difficult to get him out of Mississippi. You would think it'd be Ole Miss, but Mississippi State, he seems to have a real liking for State.
He does. At the end of the day, I really don't think he sticks in State. I mean, I think he has better options there, but we'll see. We'll see. And something else I'm going to say about these rankings. We're going to list these guys' rankings, and there's going to be some movement there. Quite a bit of movement between now and signing day. And I really like our staff's evaluation. But
Well, they know what they're looking for.
these guys, somebody like Cunningham can move up to number 1. Some of these other guys may move up quite a bit, but you want to get a guys with some good offer list, and these guys got some really good offer list, and they're highly ranked now. But the number 2 guy right now, as far as ranking goes, Jamie French down there.
Number 2 for us.
Number 2 for us, yeah. Number 5 wide receiver in the country, former Alabama commit.
And he's somebody that I could definitely see in Orange. He's an elite wide receiver, as you can see from his huddle film here. And, he's just unstoppable at the high school level. And he's got the traits that in this offense, I could see him being unstoppable in it also.
Yeah, one thing, I don't want to not mention this. Our commit, George McIntyre, man, he is working these guys. There's a reason why we're so high on these guys' list. Nearly every one of them mentioned him, their connection with him, being a friend, and the fact that they want to play for him. You can't understate that, the importance of George McIntyre in this class. If we end up signing a huge wide receiver class, George McIntyre will be the top recruiter.
Yeah. Pope might get the credit for recruiting them, but George McIntyre is going to be a large part of that.
Yeah, speaking of large, Tim, the next guy is a guy who is large.
Derek Meadows, man.
Yeah, he's a legit 6'6". That's a big boy right there.
He is. He's the number 7 recruiting wide receiver in the country on On3's composite at the moment. He was somebody, to be honest, Bob, we wasn't very much in on to a degree. I mean, we were recruiting him, but, we're down the list. But he come out, made it out back east here, and got to campus. And quite honestly, we blew him away.
I think a former Vol is his coach out there, isn't it, Tim?
Was it Marcus Nash?
I think it's Marcus Nash.
Yeah.
I think
the
so.
aforementioned Marcus Nash.
Yeah.
Is
there may be a connection there, the 40-year connection or whatever.
Well, I'll say this though, we've went from just being mentioned to we're a ball player now.
Yeah, we are. We were in this one, and like you said, we wasn't before the visit, but he come out here and he was highly impressed. We made up some huge ground on that one. Still got ground to make up, but I'll tell you another guy, Tim, that's been kind of hot here lately. Speaking of Meadows, Travis Smith. He's from Atlanta, Georgia. Uh, it could be hard to pull him from Georgia, but you we've mentioned this so many times. These are the kind of guys you want to recruit against the Georgias and the Alabamas, Ohio States, the Clemsons, the big time programs.
Well, if you want to be a big boy, you got to play with the big.
You got to compete against them for big time players, and that's what we're doing here. Travis Smith be hard to get, but I think we're in the top 2 for him for sure. I think Florida State's also in that one, but big time get, and I think he has really felt the love here lately. And I think we've really moved up his list.
Okay. Now, Marcus Harris is next one, Bob. He's number 15 wide receiver prospect in the country. He's a guy we've been on for quite a while now.
We have.
Yes, we're getting as moving along in this recruitment. As you can see from his film, it's a common denominator among these guys. They're fast. They're just skilled ball players making some incredible catches. And I just can't wait to see what some of these guys can do in a Josh Heupel offense. And Bob, these 5 guys we just mentioned isn't just long shots. The reason I really feel strong about that is the fact that we have 3 great in-state wide receivers this year. Mm-hmm. Joakim Dotson, Cam Sparks, and Rodarius Jackson. And the thought process has been that we would take 3 of those guys and we'd take 1 of the others that we thought we could get 1. Mm-hmm. I think that's changed. I believe the staff now believes they're going to get at least 2 of those other guys.
Right. I think we're in on too many big-time guys, and now we're telling the in-state guys, hey, if you're wanting in, you better get in. And you can kind of tell that by the way Rodarius Jackson and Dotson acted in the last week or so.
Well, since the orange and white game, we made a major move with a couple of guys, and Rodarius Jackson, who was thought to be probably late summer, maybe into his season before making a commitment, it's thought now that he's moved his timeline up tremendously. And Joakim Dotson, who was still taking visits, announced that he would no longer take visits. Mm-hmm. To me, that's an indication that the staff has let them all know that if you're taking visits, you're not committed. And if you're not committed, we're not holding spots for you anymore.
Right. Exactly.
This is something the staff has been really slow about. We haven't been pushy, and it's hurt us in the last few cycles. I believe, at least in the wide receiver spot, Coach Pope has let it be known to these guys, we're not holding a spot for you.
Yeah, and you can't really. I mean, there's a few players out there you can hold from year to year, but when you're on a list of this kind of guys, you can't turn down a guy who's a potential top 25 player in the country, even for a guy who's in state.
Sometimes it's hard.
Who's wanting to play the game,
mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes you get burnt when you play the game.
You do.
And but let's jump out of that for a sec, Bob, into one of these in-state guys who, man, I've heard about for so long.
Right,
Cam Sparks.
Yeah.
I've heard that name for 2 or 3 years now. He's been a superstar at the high school level down here in East Tennessee, and he. I want him bad, Bob. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's a great athlete.
He is. But quite honestly, if he don't get in the boat soon, the only way he can get in the boat maybe is a DB, which he's a fantastic DB.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure. I haven't heard whether or not Tennessee prefers him as a wide receiver or a DB. Have you heard?
Yes, they want him a wide receiver. They recruit him as a wide receiver, 100% as a wide receiver. But when we don't have no more wide receiver spots, and if you still want him, you want him as a DB.
Right. And you never know. I mean, things happen. People get switched sides possibly.
Oh, all the time.
But the next guy is like Tim, like we were just saying a minute ago, Rodarius Jackson. We believe that commitment's coming.
We do, and this is a guy who probably the top wide receiver in the state.
Yeah, and several of these guys we've gone after them hard. Then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you see them shoot up the rankings. And Jackson's one of them. I know we keep hearing that they prefer him just as good as some of these big time guys.
Yeah, they do. He was someone who was almost super low rated, and like you said, he's up to number 30, I think, on the wide receiver list. And on the next time that these come out, he's going to be considerably higher than that right there.
Yeah, another guy I think that they really high on him. The rankings won't really show it that well, but he's another guy who I think they're really high on is Thomas Blackshear. He's number 10 athlete. They have him listed as athlete, but they I think they're really high on him as well.
Yeah, I believe that's another one where we're, I think, the top two with Georgia with.
Again, you battling somebody with Georgia, that's what you want.
Yeah.
You just want to get your fair share of them. You're not going to get them all, you know. Well, maybe, but anyway.
Well, you don't have spots for everyone.
I'm greedy.
Yeah.
Give me them all.
No, we don't have spots for all of them, but I do see four of these young kids here coming this direction and being.
Yeah, and I really think
the
them
class.
originally they was wanting 3, and I think they've got such a huge
talent
pool there that they're like, hey, we should probably go ahead and take 4 because we don't want to turn down this guy or this guy, and we're just on too many big time wide receivers. So I think they'll grab 4 guys out of this class just because.
Only because of the talent level.
I think so. But with that said, Tim, I think that's the end of our episode. And remember, guys, to subscribe and like and comment there. That way you're part of the giveaway. And we'll see you at the next video.
All right, go Big Orange.
Go Vols.